So a very good evening and welcome to this evening's Crypto for Beginners presentation. Today is Monday, the 21st of September. My name is Katharine and I am the Managing Director for Dacxi in the UK and Europe. And I'll be presenting this evening's sessions. Let me just share the right screen. Here we are, here's some PowerPoint. Good. If I can just have a thumbs up if you can see some slides. Thank you, David. Much appreciated. So a very quick disclaimer. The information that I'll be providing this evening is not investment advice, financial advice, or trading advice. Rather, it is information, inspiration, and some background knowledge about Dacxi. So I'm just going to mute some of my live attendees. We record these sessions as often as we need to, just to update information and what have you. And obviously we have had quite a lot going on in the crypto marketplace. So this is the front cover of our website. So you can find us at Dacxi.com. We are a crypto exchange. So one of the places that you can buy crypto, whether you've currently got euros or British pounds or Australian dollars, you can convert that into crypto. And our tagline is that we make crypto safe, simple, and easy to buy and store. And we are the leading exchange for teaching people that are new to crypto. So we specialize in two things: education, so getting the message of crypto out there, which of course is quite a complex topic. And the other thing, unlike the majority of other exchanges who are very focused on a younger and millennial crowd, most of our users are not only first-time crypto purchasers. The majority of people we work with are probably that slightly older audience between sort of 40-ish and 65-ish. With some exceptions. So in this presentation, I'm going to cover the basics of crypto, how it works. We appreciate if you start Googling, you can very quickly fall down a black hole. How you can make money out of crypto, what to avoid. There are unfortunately a lot of very bad exchanges, products, and of course the industry has been rife with scams. Where we're at in the investment cycle. As a business and me personally, we put out a lot of analysis about the marketplace, and of course how you can get involved. So we're a very high profile business. This is just a selection of the publications you will see Dacxi appearing in. I personally spend a lot of my time writing for the press, whether it's specialist crypto press or fintech press or mainstream press. So I'm often putting out a lot of information out there, and I am considered an expert in terms of the crypto marketplace and particularly in the adoption of crypto. So I put a lot of press articles about where I feel the marketplace is going, where we're at in the investment cycle, and really what's driving it. So if you haven't already, there's a huge amount of press coverage that you can see about Dacxi being talked about. So I feel that it's very worthwhile talking about what's going on right now. I certainly am not intending to upset or depress anybody, but unless you've of course been living in a dark cave, obviously there is a lot going on in the world right now. So this little screenshot I took earlier today. So right now it's just past 8 p.m. in the evening in the UK. So I took a screenshot a few hours ago of the FTSE 100, which of course is the value of our top 100 traded companies. So it's very much seen as a health check for the UK economy. And of course, many of our pension products and other sort of savings and investments products are based on it. And it's estimated that around $9 trillion has been wiped off the global economy. And as you can see from the graph of what's happened in the UK, we're currently approximately 24% down year to date so far. So very worrying news in terms of what's happening with coronavirus, both globally and in the UK. The other thing, of course, is that we've got some quite serious inflation. So we're not quite sure what inflation looks like at the moment. We had some figures come out last week on the CPI. And of course, lots of that's based on all sorts of things we're not really using, whether it's fuel or eating out or buying new clothes. But we do know is that savings rates are really bad news at the moment. So the Bank of England, which of course sets our base rate, in the 300 or so years it's been around, we actually have the lowest ever interest rate on record. This is some research done on a comparison website on instant access accounts. And at the moment, you're actually doing very well if you can get, 0.5%, 0.75% on your cash that's sitting in the bank. There's been quite a lot of press coverage in the last couple of days about negative interest rates potentially coming in before the end of the year. So that, of course, would mean that for people that have cash, they'll be writing the bank a check for looking after it. So obviously really dreadful times for people that are sitting on cash. And for that reason, there's lots of people that probably wouldn't consider crypto if the going was really great, and now starting to look at crypto for reasons that I will talk about in due course. So I think this presentation isn't really complete without talking about the property market. So obviously we've been very lucky in the UK that prices broadly went up year on year over an extended period of time. Of course, we had a substantial general financial crash in 2008. And since then, some of that growth has been quite stagnant. The buy-to-let market's quite challenging. Obviously, they have some very large deposits. I'm based in the southeast, just outside High Wycombe, and I know that for me to participate in buy-to-let at the moment would probably cost me something like £50,000 plus in cash. And of course, those yields are very much down. So particularly from coronavirus, lots of the commercial yields are down. There's a lot of real sort of pessimism around what rental yields will look like. Taxation for landlords is quite tricky right now. And also there's some analysis that came out last week that we expect to see about 14% come off the property market in due course. So obviously not great news for property investors. I think also for a lot of people that use our platform, the typical customer that we work with typically puts several £1,000s into crypto. They simply haven't got tens of thousands of pounds to throw at an investment. So of course it's really important for us. We have a very low entry level. People can participate in our platform. They can set themselves up a wallet and purchase crypto from an entry level of £100. So currently just over half of our business would be repeat purchase. And lots of people that we collaborate with tend to start off quite low and then purchase more crypto as time goes on. So the reason for that, sorry, excuse me, that was the wrong direction, wrong button. So the reason for that, of course, is that crypto has done phenomenally well this year to date. So crypto in 2020 has been one of the best performing assets on the planet, and it's actually recovered harder, faster and better since coronavirus than any other asset. So just a couple of figures, put a graph and some numbers on, depending on what you like to see visually. So these numbers are year to date. So if you'd bought crypto on the 1st of January, what you'd be seeing today, which is the 21st of September. So Ethereum is up 169%, Bitcoin's up 42%, the Dacxi, which is our community coin, is up 27%. That will be just over 50 in the coming few days, and Litecoin's up 7%. So just to contrast, of course, that the FTSE 100 is down 24%. There's lots of people that are choosing to switch some of their cash to crypto. So as a business, we're actually very focused on a very small number of coins. As I'll explain in a few slides' time, there's actually over 7,000 cryptocurrencies out there that very much range from the ridiculous to the sublime. So we're very focused on a small number. And the reason for that is the phenomenal performance they've shown this year to date. So lots of people that traditionally haven't been interested in crypto, whether they're retail investors or institutional investors that I'm going to talk about, are now very interested in diversifying into those crypto coins. So I just want to give you some background on crypto as a technology. So crypto is often referred to as internet money or the next generation of money. And I think people can make that sound super complicated. So I just want to kind of strip some of that back. So actually for me personally, Dacxi is my third blockchain business that I've been involved in. I've been an advisor to two other blockchain businesses, one of which was very focused on crypto. The other one actually was in health tech. But blockchain as a technology has been around for a number of decades now, and very simply, it's a new type of database rather than being held in one place as it traditionally data was on a server that you would ping for information. That data is actually distributed across a large number of users, and you'll sometimes see that referred to as distributed ledger technology. So simply just a database, and that technology underpins crypto. So as you can see from this little graphic from Forbes, obviously there's a huge amount of industries that now use blockchain technology, whether it's logistics or healthcare or agriculture or supply chain. There's a huge amount of applications for it. So I think there's a fair comment to say, you know, is crypto real? Is it here to stay? And me personally in the press and lots of other people talk very actively about waves of adoption, so where we're at in that process. And obviously, of course, if you look at money, you know, I'm old enough to remember when we didn't have internet banking. I remember phone banking coming in. I remember playing with check, you know, if you wanted to go to a restaurant and they give you a little machine that took a swipe of, you know, the numbers on your physical card. So crypto really to me is a natural evolution. And I think it's very important to ask the question, you know, where are we at in that adoption? And, you know, quite frankly, is it real? There's lots of people that I've met that were purchasing Bitcoin in 2017, have made thousands of percent in gains over a year. But really, they took a huge risk coming on board very early with a technology that wasn't proven and wasn't very established. So I want to look at some of the businesses that are now involved with crypto, coming out in praise and backing it. So really those payment businesses are probably the most important in terms of adoption. So MasterCard and Visa and PayPal are some of the world's biggest payment businesses on the planet. So MasterCard has got crypto wallet projects and they actually have 80 patents in blockchain technology. Visa similarly holds about 24 patents and actually are working on investing in crypto startups. And today you can actually pay in crypto via their relationship with Coinbase. And over this summer, they announced they'll be working much more closely with crypto platforms to help people pay in crypto through their 61 million merchants. That's used by approximately 1 billion people, so that's a huge increase of audience for crypto. And they also work with global policymakers, including the World Economic Forum, and they actually assist in policy recommendations around central bank digital currencies, which I'll be talking about on the next slide. So really very much a story about infrastructure. PayPal, which is live in 200 countries, again, has got patents in blockchain, and they announced again this summer actually that they'll be offering crypto to the 320 million plus users. So I'll just say that again, Visa's used by 1 billion people, PayPal's got 320 million users. If like me, you use both, you're kind of counted twice. But that's a huge, huge audience for crypto, and obviously a very good thing for the industry as a whole. And of course, if you look at retail, some of the world's biggest retail businesses are talking about crypto. So eBay last year expressed their desire to include Bitcoin as a method of paying. Amazon is today collaborating with numerous blockchain businesses. And actually today you can spend crypto at Amazon, Starbucks and Uber via a company called Fold. So look, all those businesses are very well known, whether they're payment or retail, and they're not adopting crypto for fun. You know, they're paid to know what's coming next and what their users want. The other thing, of course, is that the big boys are very much coming to the table. So there's a real trend for central banks, which of course are the banks for each country, to what's called digitize their currency, to make their currency of their nation a digital proposition. So the World Economic Forum reported last year that about 80% of the banks are looking at digitizing. That actually includes our very own Bank of England. China's well ahead in that process as well. And the EU, which is probably a bit of a swear word, along with Brexit in the UK at the moment. But the EU has actually released a new set of rules. They've said that by 2024, they're actually aiming to streamline cross-border payments, so payments between countries, by leveraging blockchain and crypto assets such as stablecoins. That was reported in Reuters, I think, only a couple of days ago. So that is the EU saying that they are looking to have a comprehensive framework using crypto and DLT technologies. So look, there are some really, really big players in that marketplace. And of course, because crypto is a cheaper, faster and more efficient way of moving value, a lot of the world's biggest financial businesses are coming to the table. So good examples of that, I suppose, are the fact that it's very much a cost saver. So for example, Bitfinex moved $1.1 billion worth in Bitcoin earlier this year, which was actually their largest transaction to date for less than $1. So as you can imagine, lots of big banks very interested in that technology. So BlackRock, which is the world's largest asset manager on the planet, they've got just shy of $7 trillion under management, have got blockchain projects. Citi, JP Morgan, of course, are tier 1 banks. DTCC, you've probably never heard of, but it is by a long way the highest financial value processor in the world in terms of securities transactions. Again, very focused on blockchain, and lots of really large hedge funds and asset managers coming out and talking about crypto in a very positive light. My favorite thing that happened over the summer, and I've been writing some press articles about it today actually, is that Goldman Sachs over the summer said that in a big sort of Zoom call to their clients that crypto should essentially be avoided. It's not an asset class. So that was the early summer, and by August they'd actually hired a new global head of to look after its digital assets, and they're said to be considering a stable coin. So lots of big banks coming to the table, and a survey actually published by Fidelity, you've probably heard of, our big investments business, has found that about 1/3 of institutional investors globally are currently exposed to crypto assets. So certainly an asset class that's being very much taken seriously by big banks and asset managers. So look, where are we now? I've taken this graph from an ebook that we released a few months ago. You can get a copy of it from our website. It's free. It's a very easy, quick read. And it looks at what's happened on that life cycle of Bitcoin, which is probably the poster child for crypto. It's longest established. It's probably the most famous crypto there is. So you can see there has been a lot of volatility in that market. And obviously there's often some real booms followed by corrections, but each boom tends to beat the previous one in price. So we actually believe that there's a substantial fifth boom coming. And we believe that a lot of the institutional investors are going to come in and control a lot of that marketplace. So I think it's very interesting if you look at, excuse me, I've just got some animation that's being slow. So if you look at some of the daily volumes, I was putting some data together today. So these are the daily traded volumes for Bitcoin. So you can see over the last couple of years, it's gone from $3 billion to $25 billion a day. So really liquid, really popular marketplace. And particularly for most of the people that we work with at Dacxi, they're not traders. We can trade with our platform, but most people are looking to hold for a reasonable period of time. But equally, there is liquidity with Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum, should you wish to exit. And we feel that fifth boom is likely to be generated by the institutional investors. And we're on record as saying we don't see the levels of growth that you see in the next probably 6 to 12 months being repeated in the future. So some really interesting growth stats, and certainly the story this year to date certainly supports that. So look, why crypto and which crypto? Obviously that's a really tricky thing to look at. There's around 7,000 cryptocurrencies. So if you want to get involved in crypto, that's a really big decision in terms of what coins to go for. Look, huge traded volumes per day. We're very focused on what's called the blue chip cryptos, which is Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum. And the reason we do that is those are the ones that the institutions are interested in, and they're the ones that have shown the most positive growth this year to date. So again, I think we meet lots of people that have just bought Bitcoin, which is great. But that selection of Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, and the Dacxi has far outperformed Bitcoin by about 100%, which is really key. So very quick introduction to Dacxi. We're a digital asset exchange, which allows people to purchase and hold their crypto, obviously in the UK from sterling. We're very focused on retail. So most of our customers, as I've said, are holding, not trading. And we are based in the UK, so we have offices just outside Oxford. Obviously, due to lockdown, I'm broadcasting from home, but normally I would spend a lot of time in our offices. So we're licensed in Europe. We have intentions to list on the London Stock Exchange next year, which we're on record and very excited about. And we're really the only exchange that really promotes the education and the community. And we're focused on being a crowdfunder in the near future. So unfortunately, this presentation doesn't give me quite enough time to talk about that. But if you can, do get a hold of either the Dacxi Blue Paper or some of the webinar content we've put out about the plans for our community coin. And we have a fantastic founding team. Our founders already listed 2 companies on the LSE, and also includes the ex-CFO for DHL in APAC. So a really great team that I'm really privileged to work with, having joined Dacxi earlier in the year myself. So one of the things that it's really key to focus on is the security rating. Obviously, it's key if you're going to secure your assets online that you make sure that the IT is up to standard. So a great way of doing that is by checking on the Mozilla Observatory, which is an independent way of checking the security of any website in the world. This actually, the screenshot's a little bit old, but you can check any time of day or night. It's free and very easy to access. So we have an A+ rating. Many of the exchanges, unfortunately, don't have great ratings. Certainly a lot of the UK high street banks, who are of course banks first and technology providers second, can rate anything between C and F, which is quite eye-watering. So again, just a good little check if you're going to be storing online. And the really key thing is that we do not store our assets on the internet. So it's what's called a cold wallet. So we actually store 98% of our assets offline, so they cannot physically be hacked. So there's 2 things that Dacxi offers. We have what's called the bundle. So anyone that uses our platform purchases crypto within their own account, which they can set up online. And whatever they choose, whether they put in £100 or anything in excess, that's split between 50% Bitcoin, 20% Ethereum, 10% Litecoin, and 20% into the DAC, with a further 10% incentive. So obviously a starting price of £100. And again, lots of people just get involved with the platform and start off very small until they feel comfortable and confident, which is fine. The other thing we've got is our DAC pack, which has been extremely popular over the last couple of years. And we do actually have a substantial price increase coming tomorrow. So recording this presentation is somewhat time sensitive. So we have seen some great growth. We've actually seen a couple 100% over the last couple of years. And that is purely a purchase of our DAC pack, which is particularly popular with people who are really seeking the maximum possible capital growth. So we're very pleased to give you more information on that. Whether you're listening live or listening again, you're very welcome to hear some more. So the buying process is very similar. It probably looks quite a lot like an online banking app. You can create an account online, particularly great for lockdown, which it does look like most of the UK is going back into right now. So you can actually pass what's called KYC, which stands for Know Your Client. That's an FCA requirement to provide a proof of ID, a photographic ID, and a proof of address. You can then fund your account and enjoy owning some coins and seeing the growth. So a very, very light touch, user-friendly platform, which we built internally. And of course, no cost for setting up an account, so you can get a sense of how it all works. So look, this is my last slide. We try and keep these presentations quite short. For those of you listening live, it's quite late. For those of you on listening again, we try and keep them short. So the next steps would be to engage with learning. We have an awful lot of resources available online, whether it's webinars or ebooks, all sorts of things that we can interact with over social media. I very much recommend our ebook and our blue paper as a good way of an introduction both to crypto and to Dacxi. We hold loads of online events. I think we're the only crypto exchange which is very much putting themselves out there and hoping that we can meet as many of our users as possible. Or of course, talk to the person that introduced you to Dacxi. So I'm just going to stop the share, and I'm just going to stop recording so I can talk to my live attendees. So those who listen again, hope to see you online soon.